What is a biblical worship leader? Singing praises to the Lord is a theme found throughout Scripture. In the Old Testament, for example, in 1 Chronicles chapter 15 and 2 Chronicles chapter 5, we read about the Levites who were dedicated to singing praises to God in the temple. However, they were not referred to as worship leaders, but simply as musicians and singers. The concept of a worship leader is not found in Scripture, and there's reason for this. In biblical times, worship was about laying one's life down in complete surrender to God. It was typically portrayed through sacrificial offerings or by laying prostrate face down as an act of submission. Worship took place at a dedicated location where God placed His name or reputation. Jesus explains in John chapter 4 verse 24 that the time has come when true worshippers will no longer limit their worship to a specific place, but will worship God in spirit and in truth. Worshipping God in spirit and in truth is not about singing emotional songs, but about sacrificing our desires and will to align with God's purpose. Paul urges believers in Romans chapter 12 verse 1 to offer their bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God as their true act of worship. Similarly, Peter writes in 1 Peter chapter 2 verse 5 that believers are living stones built into a spiritual house, a holy priesthood to offer spiritual sacrifices acceptable to God through Jesus Christ. If a worship leader were to exist, it would refer to someone who sets as an example by sacrificing their own will to do what God desires. So, why do we sing songs in church meetings? In Colossians chapter 3 verse 16, we are instructed to let the word of Christ dwell in us richly in all wisdom, teaching and admonishing one another in psalms, hymns, and spiritual songs, singing with grace in our hearts to the Lord. Therefore, singing is another way to minister to one another, much like prophecy, encouragement, or teaching. Like and subscribe for more 2-minute biblical rebuttals.